Sean played for Tuam years ago. How many do now? Yeah. Luke Fallon is jazz in there. Fullback, yeah. Two Cunninghams, number 4, number 15, they're brothers as well. The two Davins are brothers. Luke and Jack. Two Collards are brothers. Two Heathens are brothers. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sets of brothers. Cormac's brother, Francis, his son. He's been making an appearance. Really, yeah. We had a great game here yesterday between Clifton and Brendan. And it wasn't a bad game either between the
We'll be playing our own again before that.
On a 5-1. Have the water in the glasses there.
Said it already, it cost you every time I say it.
And a very good afternoon. You're very welcome to Pearse Stadium. We're going to have the national anthem before the game. But before that, we're just going to have a look at the teams here, where we have Tuam Stars faced against St. James's of Galway in the County Minor B final. I'm joined here by Frank Doherty, who will be doing analysis for me during the afternoon. But before I speak to Frank, just to go through the teams, and we'll take a look first at the Galway side, St. James's, and we have the line out for that team in goal is James Egan. The full back line is made up of number 2, Joey O'Hara. Full back is Dara Neary. And the left full back is number 4, Fionnan Conway. The half back line then at 5 is Cian Gillespie. 6 at centre back is Ian Casserly. And 7 is Kevin Grennan. At the middle of the field, Owen Finnerty, a man who scored the goal for them the last day, is partnered alongside number 9, Matthew Mulvaney. The half forward line is made up of number 10, Cian Griffin. At centre half forward, Daniel McNulty. And the left half forward is number 12, Jack Folan. Number 13 then is Jack Nolan. He's alongside the full forward, Desi Hines, wearing 14, prolific scorer for them. And also top of the left is John Ralph. Tuam Stars team lines out as follows. In goal we have Alex Steele, full back line of number 2, James Henderson. 3 is Luke Fallon, and 4, Dara Cunningham. The half back line is Conor Heenahan. It's the centre half back, Dara Heenahan. He's coming in today replacing the injured Ross Kelly. And number 7 is Cathal Mannion. At midfield, Mark Collarden wears 8 alongside number 9, Carl Ward. The half forward line is made up of number 10, Ronan Collarden. Number 11 is Callan Tynan, and number 12 is Adam Carton. And the full forward line has Luke Davin wearing 13, alongside his brother Jack Davin 14, and top of the left, number 15 is Colin Cunningham. Indeed, there are 4 sets of brothers in the Tuam team. Dara Cunningham wearing 4 and Colin with 15. The 2 Davins in the full forward line. Mark and Ronan Collarden are also brothers wearing 8 and 10. And the 2 Heenahans wearing 5 and 6. Connor and Dara Heenahan and brothers. So quite a selection of brothers there. Just a few households involved in this, Frank. We'll talk to Frank in a minute. We're going to take the national anthem here at Pearse Stadium. Yeah, both sets of supporters here making plenty of noise as we finish our on Naveen. Tuam seem to be lining out, and the Oris Bourne at throw side. The wind will be a big factor as we welcome Frank Doherty. Frank.
Yeah, Kevin, as you alluded to, it's really looking forward to, and just looking at some of the names here on the Tuam seat, you know, the Fallons and the Cunninghams and Heenahans and Cartons and household names of GA down in Tuam. But it'll be interesting to see how James has handled those particular players. Keane Gillespie in the half-back line, they will look to him to lead the line from there. Midfield, Matthew Mulvaney, and up front, Daniel McNulty at 11 and Desi Hines at 14. So they're going to be four big players for St. James. But as you say, Kevin, the breeze is very, very strong, and it'll be interesting to see how that pans out.
And it seems to be that James's will be the side that will be playing into Orosburn and throw. The other way around. Tuam will be playing into Orosburn and throw. James is playing into the Town end.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big factor, Kevin, with that breeze. And as you know, Salt Hill here, it can be calm for 10 minutes and then it can pick up into a big storm. So it'll be interesting to see how James has handled the breeze and how Tuam can counteract that and get as many scores on board. Because you could be looking at having to have something, Kevin, in the region of 4 to 6 point lead at half time, whichever team is playing with that breeze.
Well, out in the middle of the field, we have Mark Collard alongside Carl Ward for Tuam. And for the St. James's side, we have Owen Finnerty and Matthew Mulvaney, both waiting there for our referee for this afternoon, Richie McNicholas, to throw in the ball. He does that. The game is underway, and it's Mark Collard that claims the first one out of the sky and wins the first free. And a clear indication there that he's going to be a problem for St. James.
Yeah, I was just alluding to it earlier on, Kevin, looking at the Tuam players as they attack. Mark Collins on the ball, busting through the middle.
Yeah, and he's a good player. He's looking to get a score. He actually kicked the ball over the bar, but unfortunately for him, Richie McNicholas had not allowed an advantage and given him the free in, so an early chance for a score for Tuam.
An early chance, and he done it all himself. He won it in midfield, took the free early and got the pop pass back, and he looks a fine athlete. He looks a big strong man that can, you know, catch a bit, and he must have maybe 6 or 7 inches on the likes of Matthew Mulvaney out there, Kevin, as Tuam strike first blood. And
it's Jack Davin that puts the ball over the bar, the full forward for Tuam from that free. So Tuam do get the reward that they possibly deserved, having won that particular throw-in. So in the first minute, Tuam striking the first score against the breeze. 1 point for Tuam. St. James's no score. Out into the middle of the field, and James's have claimed it this time. And it's Jack Foley that has the ball for them on the far side of the field, trying to go through, lose the ball out of his hand. And it's going to be a line ball for Tuam, and really and truly under pressure now in the early stages. And it's again inside, it goes to Jack Davin. Jack Davin playing it inside now, and on the ball is Callan Tynan. Tynan looking for support and gets the support in the form of Luke Davin. Luke Davin has a pot at the post, and he puts that one over the bar, and that's a super score, and all coming from the fact that James's have won the kick out, didn't manage to get the clear.
Absolutely, Kevin, and Callan Tynan had a big play on that, number 11 playing that centre forward for Tuam. He's drifting in and out as centre forward, but what a beautiful strike from Luke Davin, straight over the bar on his right foot. You'd expect 13 to be on his left, but threw it over on the right foot, no problem.
So now this time a good claim from the kick out for the St. James side. First chance of an attack, but a slip allows Dara Cunningham to go back and claim the ball for Tuam, and Tuam now can counter-attack once more as they come out with Collard on the ball in the middle of the field. He lays it off, of course, to Dara Heenahan pushing forward. Bad ball from Dara Heenahan though. Well claimed back there by Ian Casserly. Casserly trying to go forward. He wins a free, and it's going to be a free in for James's. And a bit of sloppy play there now, taken quickly, and it's given off to Matthew Mulvaney, a key player for the St. James's side. Speedy Merchant too, trying to go through the middle. He takes on two Truman, can't get past Heenahan or Collard, and Collard claims the ball, then loses it. Richie McNicholas says nothing wrong with that, and it's an overturn this time, so it's now a chance for James's to try and get their first score, but a foul there on the number 8, Owen Finnerty, and it's going to be a free in for James's. A bit sloppy in James's in attack. Tuam closing them rather quickly.
Yeah, Tuam done very, very well, just turning over the ball, and James's, I think it's who's lining this up. Daniel McNulty seems to be lining this one up, but I thought it was harsh enough foul on Carl Ward. He seemed to have possession, and when he was coming in, he just gone with the shoulder, but I suppose it was a bit more side on, and he went down, and a free to Ronan McNulty.
So he takes the free. It looked like it's gone off to the left-hand side and it's gone out wide, and that would be disappointing. But this breeze, we have to say, it's very, very strong, and it will be difficult to keep the ball online.
That's very true, Kevin, because, you know, we're sheltered up here, but when you're out in the middle, they're out in the field, the breeze is blowing from left to right, as you said, the board and the trial in towards the town, and it's picking up all the time. So when the keepers kick, it's going to hang in the air, especially for the Tuam keeper.
And it's Alex Steele that's taking that kick, and he's looking for Colin, and Colin had his hands in it, but it goes out over the sideline, and it's going to be a line ball. Play on, says the linesman. I thought it was gone out over the sideline. Adam Carton can't get his foot to that one, but they go down and claim it in the form of Carl Mannion. Mannion now looking for support, and he gets it in the form of Dara Heenahan. Heenahan gives it off to Carl Ward. Carl Ward going down the right hand side now, looking for an opening, takes a 1-2 now. Tuam on the attack again, nearly ball played in towards the full forward line, comes off the full back, but eventually ends out over the sideline. Jack Davin putting a lot of pressure on James Egan.
Yeah, putting a lot of pressure on a super ball in though, and you can see what Tuam are trying to do, trying to create the space and hit their 14 inside Jack Davin, and just unlucky, just came off the fingertips as it was going in, just hit it a little bit too far, but you know, you can see they're trying to create the space in front of Jack Davin to win some ball.
The way that breeze is coming, it's really coming from across the building there of Orrisbourne and Thraw, so it's not really directly down the field.
No, Kevin, no, it's blown across, and it for some reason or other seems to be going left to right across the pitch and then right to left, so it's a swirling breeze, so when they're kicking it, it can just hang or get lost in the air for a couple of seconds.
Well, it's Tuam that have the lead at the moment. They're 2 points up against St. James's, and we're looking at 5 minutes on the stopwatch now. A chance for Jack Nolan to set up something. Flicks the ball inside, gives it off to Keane Griffin. Griffin now going through for St. James's, chance of a score, but he goes to ground and he missed the chance and he missed the opportunity, and he deemed to have overcarried it, and that's a pity. They should have taken the shot when he had the chance, Frank. Didn't do that, costly.
You're totally right, Kevin, and the thing is that Keane, I think it's Keane Griffin, yeah, who broke through. He had the chance just to pop the ball over the bar, and he just turned around for some reason, but in fairness, the two backs were on him like a rash at the time and closed down the space pretty quickly.
So Tuam now playing a short game to come out of the defence. Carl Ward with the ball, plays it forward, and it's quite a good ball. He gives it off to Callan Tynan, the blondie here. Callan now going down the right hand side, has to cut back inside, then kick the ball up in the air. It's a hit and hope ball, and it's easily claimed back there by the St. James's side, and it's with Matthew Mulvaney now plays the ball off and down this side. They come looking for support. He kicks it inside. It's a one-on-one situation in there, and it's the Tuam one that won the ball. Luke Fallon indeed back there playing it very, very tight and making it very different for Cathal Mannion, but Mahan does well to claim it, and Colin is there to help him out, and really Tuam supporting one another quite well. Yeah,
and must say hats off to Kevin Grinnan. He got on the ball there and was very accomplished, very calm on the ball. He's back on it again, the wing back, and beautiful kick pass, a beautiful ball into the half forward line, full forward line.
Yeah, and it's now with Davin, and Davin plays an excellent ball right across. A chance for a goal here for Tuam. Brilliant save, comes off the goalie, absolutely fantastic save, and they play it back out now, and it's Adam Carton that puts the ball inside again. It's close inside, another chance of a goal, another great save, and Rhoda Colleran had the effort this time. Two brilliant saves from James Egan, a man that has featured at underage for Galway, and he did well there, Frank.
He done absolutely well. He kept James in the game there because there were two fantastic saves, and you know, hats off to James Egan. And this is end-to-end stuff, Kevin. It's very open and very well played by both sets.
Now we have St. James on the attack here, and it's with the corner forward Jack Nolan. Nolan is deemed to have been fouled, and he's going to get a free in, and maybe a chance for James's to open the score. Tuam Stars 2 points, James's no score. 7 minutes gone on the stopwatch here in Pearse Stadium, and it really is a lively game of football so far, Frank.
Yeah, it's very entertaining. Danny McNulty standing over this one. The linesman is pulling him back, just maybe that couple of 2 or 3 yards to pull him back. But what a ball, Kevin. I think it was kicked in by Jack Davin earlier on. Just split the whole thing open, and you know, only for James Egan in goals. That's a missed kick by Danny McNulty, Kev.
Yeah, he's been trying to curl that ball, and it just hasn't been working for him. The ball touched on the ground inside in there by the corner forward, John Ralph. So it's going to be a free out for Tuam Stars, and Tuam now can build again. And with the kind of incisive passes that they've been putting together, you know, the James side are really going to have to be careful. And then I put the commentators' curse on them, because that pass just went absolutely astray, and it's overturned by the James's midfield, and the ball is with Owen Finnerty. Finnerty then looking for support from Daniel McNulty. McNulty plays it inside, but the ball knocked away by Jah Fallon inside as Tuam try and put the pressure on James's and hold them scoreless for a while longer. They've done it for 8 minutes so far, and James's have to rework it and come back out the field to Matthew Mulvaney. Mulvaney now looking for options, goes into the left hand side to try and open it up again to see if he can get Keane Griffin into the game. He's going to take a run. Going inside is Jack Folan. Jack Folan is fouled, and it's going to be a free in, and maybe from this side, the far side this time, there might be a better chance of putting a free over.
Yeah, maybe. I think it could be Owen Finnerty from that side, Kev, that'll line this one up, because Danny McNulty hits two, but it's the wind, and when they throw it up that high in the sky, the wind just grabs it. He's gone short though. He's gone looking for Mulvaney.
So Mulvaney has the ball in his hand, and he's got a man outside him here in Keane Griffin. Griffin then gets the ball. He cut through earlier on and just failed to take the kick. This time he takes the kick, but it's gone out to the right-hand side. In my opinion, it's gone wide. In the umpire's opinion, it's gone wide, and that's a bad miss.
Well, it is, because you'd imagine he would have learned from the first time when he broke through, and it just so happened that when he came back onto his right foot, that correct decision, but just seemed to be a bit hesitant when he kicked the ball, King Griffin. But he's had two opportunities, and James should at least have the score. What a super catch in midfield!
A super catch by Carl Ward in the midfield, and he ploughs forward and then drives in the early ball, and it's caught inside by Jack Davin, and Davin now turning towards the goal, trying to see what he can do. He wins a free, and that really is the difference. Tuam just so incisive with their passing. Ward won the ball, looked up, saw the space in front of Jack Davin, played a perfect ball into him.
Absolutely, a brilliant catch by Carl Ward, and there was one thing on his mind only, look for Jack Davin, but you can see the patterns of play that Tuam are trying to play. Get it early, win the ball, don't look for any marks or anything, drill it in, and they're looking for Carl Davin, who's a very accomplished full forward at the moment, and maybe James needs to look at something like that, because he's won every ball that's went in there so far. Now
we have Mark Collin has put this one on the carpet, and on a day like today, it might be the best way to be kicking a free is off the floor. He's going to try and put this one over as he approaches it with the left peg, and he drives it towards the post. Has it gone out to the right hand? It's gone out to the left hand side and wide, and that's a bad miss for him. He'll be disappointed with that as Tuam Stars continue to lead with 10 minutes now gone on the stopwatch. Tuam Stars 2 points. James is yet to score, Frank.
Yeah, and they'll be disappointed because they've had a couple of opportunities, but they just seem to be rushing the shots, and the kickouts aren't going the way they should be. That's one again by Tuam, who are coming on the attack again.
Carl Ward, early ball again inside towards Davin. This might have gone over his head. Indeed, it has gone over his head, and the referee says it's a free out. He gives the free against Jack Davin, and that's taken quickly, and it's an opportunity to get Kevin Grennan into the game and see what he can do, and see if James can set up something. On this side of the field we have Keane Griffin looking for the ball, but number 8 Owen Finnerty decides to charge forward himself here, still going forward, going past the 45, being tackled there by 2 or 3 Tuam men, still managing to get it off, and he gives it off to Daniel McNulty, and McNulty has a go, and this time it's over the bar, and that's a very good score, and it's a very good score from the work of Owen Finnerty.
Yeah, absolutely. Won it inside his own 25-30 yard line, and took it on from there, ended up inside the Tuam 45 and popped it off to Daniel McNulty, who in turn settled it, Kevin, because he went for 2 frees earlier on, and he took the responsibility on and done very well to strike it over the bar.
So now we have it 2 points to 1. Tuam winning the kick out again in the middle of the field. They've been dominant in that particular area, Frank. So far, I talked to you in a minute about that as they come bursting forward again here, trying to set up another score, but it's well defended by James. But Tuam dominant at the middle of the field.
Yeah, they're very strong around the middle. 2 fine men in Ward. I think it's Ward that's out there, and Colleran, and they're dominating that particular area. So James want to vary their kick out on those.
Keane Griffin now trying to get a move going here, and he's got Daniel McNulty, the man that got the last score for them. He's got him moving forward, and it's given off to Jack Nolan. Now Nolan looking to try and create a bit of space. Kicks, this might be going short. No, it goes over the bar. It's an excellent score from him. Well done, Jack Nolan.
Yeah, super. And he came in on his right and popped it over his left, and he'd only one thing on his mind when he cut in, that he was going to strike it. There was an option inside to pop the ball, but didn't go, Kevin, and took the strike on himself and put it over. Super score, 2-2.
2-2 after 13 minutes. Tuam Stars 2 points, St. James's 2 points. It's all square, so all the good work that Tuam started off with has been cancelled out in just 2 minutes with 2 good scores. Out into the middle of the field, Owen Finnerty is alert to a poor kick out from Tuam, and now he can bomb a ball inside. This could be dangerous. It's very, very tight in there, and it's won again and kicked by Jack Nolan, and he kicks it over the bar. And that direct approach which Tuam started with James is working now, and it's working for them.
Yeah, well, maybe they've been told, stop over elaborating with the hand pass and get the ball into the likes of Jack Nolan, and we haven't seen much of Desi Hines, who's another fine attacker inside. So get the ball and be a bit more direct, to have the breeze that's out there at their back. So they've got the last 2 scores. 3
points for St. James's. There's 2 points for Tuam Stars, and at the middle of the field it looked like the Tuam men had claimed the ball, but both 4 hands were on the ball, and Richie McNicholas decides the best thing to do in this situation is throw it in, and he does that, and it's knocked away by a Tuam man, and it's picked up by Owen Finnerty, and not Owen Finnerty, but Daniel McNulty, and he gives it off, and it's a shot that comes in and comes back off the upright, and alert to that one was the cornerback for Tuam, Dara Cunningham, and that could have been a score. Dara Cunningham wins a free out. That was dangerous, came back off the post.
Yeah, took the shot and just came back off the post. Dara Cunningham was alert. He was one of the players that got to it very quickly and settled down. But Tuam need to settle down again, because James kicked the last three, Kevin, and they just need to get their hands on the ball and work it through the lines and, do the simple things right, because they are only young lads. There's another turnover by Tuam that they weren't doing earlier on in the game.
Yeah, James Henderson just got in the way of a pass that was going out further to another Tuam player on the far side. Tuam trying to get out in front of the man, but it's claimed. And now we have King Griffin going on the overlap here on the right hand side. He flicks it inside to Finnerty. Finnerty back to King Griffin. Goal chance on here. He has a shot at the post and it goes over the bar. Just over the bar. It could have been a goal. King Griffin getting the score for St. James's.
Yeah, great reply from St. James's, and they kicked the last four. King Griffin missed two chances earlier on, but he certainly wasn't going to miss that one. Took the responsibility on and put it over the bar. Good score, and of the two teams now, I think, James's have settled down very well and they've played themselves well into this game, Kevin, at 4-2.
4 points to 2, 15 minutes gone. St. James's 4 points, Tuam Stars 2 points. This time they win the kick out and they win the mark, so it's a chance now for Tuam to start to see if they can create something again. It goes to Dara Heenan. Dara Heenan, the centre back, looking to see what options are available for him. Tries to play it off now to a man that's in a better position. Has kicked inside and 1-2. Dara Heenan fails to pick it up. Can he get it at the second attempt? He does, but he's deemed to have fouled the man in trying to do that, and it's going to be a free out for James's. James has defended that well.
Yeah, they did. They got bodies around the ball, and the turn. I think it's the water break coming up. Yeah. Just got bodies around the ball, Kevin, and got the overturn. But James's has started a bit slowly, but they've scored the last four, and they'll be very happy with the way they finished up until the water break.
Yeah, crucially, the two saves by James Egan were two turning points, really. There were two brilliant saves. Tuam had 2 goal chances on. They failed to take both goal chances. Might have converted the second one as a point, indeed, but didn't do that. After starting with Jack Davin and Luke Davin, Jack with a free, Luke with a great point. The 2 goal chances went a begging for them, and instead of that, we've seen that James has woke up and began to get a grip around the middle of the field. Daniel McNulty, Jack Nolan with 2 scores, and Keane Griffin getting their points. So they really have worked themselves back into the game. 4 points to 2 at the water break.
Absolutely, Kevin. 3 of their 6 forwards now have scored, and James Egan, though, as you alluded to, that was very, very important, because at that stage Tuam could have went 1-2 to no score up, and you're saying, well, would James know how to handle that? But they've come back, they've responded very well. But now I'm sure the likes of Jeff Fallon and the management team down there will pull the lads together, the Tuam lads together, and say, listen, boys, we're over elaborating on sometimes with the ball. It's not a great day. Get back to what we were doing. What we were doing best was win the ball in midfield and getting it direct and hitting the ball directly into Jack Davin and inside in the full forward line. If he wasn't scoring, he was popping off, and they got 2 scores. So they need to get back to that again, Kevin. Now the breeze is picking up. We can just hear it coming through here on top of us, and it's going to be very important as this game goes on.
Yeah, it will indeed, because there's no doubt about it. It's promised that the weather should deteriorate here throughout the afternoon. We hope it doesn't, and we hope it stays the way it is, because it's been a highly entertaining game despite the breeze, and some great football so far, Frank.
Oh yeah, look at, for God's sake, these kids, a lot of them are 16 and 17 and will be playing minor again for the next coming year. So both sides are really having a go and really putting it up, and it's great to see. There's no blanket defences or anything. When we haven't got the ball, we chase it back, we try and close it down, and that's the attitude of both teams. A very enjoyable game.
And we're restarting now with a free. Owen Finnerty picking it up for the St. James's team out in the middle of the field now, as he comes forward, going across the pitch, not making a lot of ground, loses the ball, gets it back again, and then is deemed to have been fouled and wins the foul. So it's going to be a chance for James's here now to try and create something. Finnerty is there again, a man that, as I said, played a very important role in their own win in the Westport final. Keane Griffin now with the ball in his hand, tries to go around a man, had got the last score for St. James's, plays it inside. Mark called, but play on, says the referee, and it's with Desi Hines. Haven't seen a lot of Desi so far. A top scorer for St. James's, back out to Owen Finnerty, and Finnerty looking to see what options are available for him. Gives it off now to Daniel McNulty. McNulty has a pot at the post. Is that good enough? It is absolutely superb, and with ease and nonchalance.
Yes, and James are playing the football that I've heard they can play, and they're starting to play it now. Kevin, and McNulty, who missed the 2 frees earlier on, has really stepped up and kicked the 2 points so far, playing from centre forward, and he's hungry and he wants the ball, and he is one of their go-to players, Kevin. Of the 2 or 3 I named earlier on, he's the one now that has stepped up into that breach.
19 minutes gone, and look, Danny McNulty gets his second point of the afternoon, and that now means that James's have gone 3 clear. It's St. James's 5 points, it's Tuam Stars 2 points, and it's a line ball to Tuam on the far side of the field. Back there is Mark Collern to take the ball for them. Looking up to see what options are available. A run has come from Callantynan, but it was a bit early and a bit premature. He gives it off instead to Carl Ward. Ward now goes down along the sideline. He's hauled back, but he gets the ball away to Carton. Carton soloing forward now, drives the ball in to this side of the field, and waiting for is Davin. Davin flicks it off again. A pull on a man there. I thought it was a free in, but play on, says the referee. The ball has gone to ground. He gives the free out instead. And Tuam not too happy about that, but Richie McNicholas, that's referee, he's the man with the whistle in his hand. His own Finnerty has the ball. He's trying to come away with it now. Gives it off instead to Jack Folan. Folan on the far side of the field, goes to ground, wins a free, looks up, see what's available inside. Inside is the number 13, that's Jack Nolan. Jack Nolan now looks around to see what he can do. Plays the ball inside towards Desi Hines. Hines now beaten to it on this occasion as Tuam recover it and try and come out. Hines doing a bit of pulling and dragging. The referee says play on. He does another bit of pulling and dragging, and the referee says play on again for Conor Heenan with the ball. Conor Heenan has the ball, gives it out to this side. Cathal Mannion. Cathal Mannion going forward now, looking for somebody from Tuam. Ronan Collern is there. Collern gives it to his brother. He's looking up to see what's available. Drives it inside now into the corner. Tuam trying to get to the end of this one, but the wind is going to carry it, and it goes out over the sideline, and that's a little bit of a disappointing effort.
Yeah, Conor Heenan there was on the ball, and just it was a loose kick pass, and the wind took it as well. You know, he was unlucky, and I mean, he kicked it, he knew it was heading towards the sideline. But you know, Tuam just need to settle down, Kev. They don't want to go 4 or 5 points down at this early stage, because they have an advantage with the breeze, and you know, they want to get on the score sheet in the next attack or so.
Owen Finnerty has come right into the game now. He's given the ball off to Ian Casserly as the James's team now build again. Long ball inside now. This one going to bounce is the Tuam man is there, but all he manages to do is knock it down to Jack Nolan. Nolan has a go at the post, and he drives it high, and he drives it over the bar, and that's an absolutely super score, and it extends the lead for James's 6 points to 2.
Yeah, and look, at the minute the ball was hit, you could see the bounce of the ball was going to favour the attacker if the defender didn't get the hand on it, and it was unfortunate from Dara Cunningham's point of view. He did get the hand, but it just went over his fingertips. He was unlucky, and I think it was Jack Nolan just made sure of getting that score. But you know, that's a foul there, and Tuam would be glad to get anything at the moment now, Kev.
Yeah, and we welcome Galway Bay FM listeners to let them know that with 21 minutes gone on the clock at St. James's, 6 points, Tuam Stars 2 points. Tuam Stars playing into the wind, and the Oars scoring a throw in. Started with Jack Davin with a point from a free. Luke Davin got up, put one over from play, but then Daniel McNulty, 2 from Jack Nolan, Keane Griffin, McNulty again, and Jack Nolan have all added scores. Tuam have been scoreless since the second minute. We're now, as I say, into the 22nd minute, and it's 6 points for James's. It's Tuam Stars 2 points. Tuam Stars now on the attack. Ball played in with Callantynan in towards Jack Davin. Jack Davin now, and they're coming back. Chance of a goal here for Tuam, and it's off to the right hand side, and it's gone out wide, and that's a really poor miss for Tuam from Callantynan.
Yeah, you know, I honestly thought he was going to hit the back of the net because everything was done right. The ball that went into Jack Davin, he popped it off to Callantynan, and you know, you're looking at Kevin putting that ball in the back of the net, especially, you know, when you're 4 points down, and the goal chances that they've actually had, Tuam, and they've had 3 goal chances now, Kevin, and haven't taken one.
Yeah, and they could be vital, and in the North Board final they didn't manage to find the net 3 times, but they haven't managed to do that here so far today. Richie McNicholas is having a chat out in the middle of the field with Matthew Mulvaney and with Mark Collern, and I don't know what that is about, but there's certainly I just looked down there, and there's obviously an instruction coming in to cool things down from the James's side.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, the ball's turned over. Kevin, I'll hand it back to you.
Yeah, and a chance of a score here, and it's popped over the bar. Excellent score. That one coming in from Luke Davin, who gets that one, and that is a giveaway score.
Well, it is, because you know, James had possession on the kick out, and James Egan has done extremely well in goals, but he just gave that one away, switched off, and I think it was Luke Gavin, I beg your pardon, turned around and said thank you very much and threw it out. But Tuam needed that.
Tuam definitely needed that. 23 minutes gone on the clock, 6 points to 3. It's James's that have the lead, but it's Tuam to win the ball underneath us here in the stand in Pearse Stadium, and they have won the line ball as they look to see what they can do with it. It's young Colleran with the left leg, man who tried to score earlier on. He plays the ball inside, gives it off to Carton, and played inside now again. Deep it goes, and a chance now for Tuam to build once more. Looking up to find what's available, and what's available is Carl Ward out in the middle of the field in front of the D, and he'll take that one all day, and it's a really excellent score from Carl Ward.
Yeah, and you know something, Kevin, Jack Davin inside full forward, his vision and the way he can spot the pass and spot the runners off him, it's fantastic to see a young lad with that kind of vision, you know, playing at the edge of the square. Unselfishly picked the pass out, 30-yard kick pass, found I think it was Carl Ward, and he carried the ball on that, you know, to the 25-30 line and stroked it beautifully over the bar. Beautiful score.
James Egan kicks it out to the far side of the field and working very hard over on that side of the field is Jack Folan to win the ball. Owen Finnerty now on the ball for St. James's, looking up to see what's available inside, tries to go past one Tuam, tries to go past another Tuam. He's been tackled there, the referee says illegally so, and it's going to be a free out inside their own 45 for James's. Go back, says Jack Davin, trying to actually dictate what's going on, but the referee says no, come forward now because you interfered. You're supposed to step back 10 metres from the play. Keane Griffin down underneath us here in Pearse Stadium. He wins the ball. Now gives it off to Matthew Mulvaney. Mulvaney now racing down and heading in towards the Tuam goal, really putting the power on. He's been tackled by one man, tackled by two, throws the ball up in the air, and as a giveaway and turnover, and Tuam have won the ball back. And Matthew Mulvaney might have done a little bit more with that one. It was an opportunity for James's to create something. Trying to come out with it now for Tuam is Ronan Collard. Gives it to Dara Heenahan. Heenahan looks up now, puts a high ball in over the top. Well claimed there by the fullback Dara Leary. Super fielding, and we've seen a lot of that in this game so far as Keane Griffin gets on the ball again for James's. Now a man that has had a couple of scores for them gives it off to Owen Finnerty. Owen Finnerty loose in the middle of the field, plenty of space around him. Tuam haven't pushed out on him. This could be dangerous because he can easily find a man. He gives it off to Keane Griffin. A 1-2 work there. Griffin now gives it inside, and it's going to be Daniel McNulty, I think, that's on the ball this time. Loses it and reclaims it, gives it back to Finnerty. Finnerty trying to wind up for a shot. Goes through now, got past inside 2 Tuam, inside 3 Tuam. There's a chance for him, but his shot is blocked out. It might trickle out for a 45, and it has done that. And desperate defender by Tuam, but when they St. James's lads run at Tuam have no answer. They don't want to foul them.
Yeah, and I think Owen Finnerty was a bit fortunate. Kevin got away. He might have taken an extra step or two, and you know he done very well. He dropped the shoulder and went in. But Luke Fallon, you have to give him praise for coming across. I think that's Jazz, young lad that came across and got the block in and put it out for a 45. So you know, albeit Owen Finnerty broke through, but you know I think the Tuam backs are playing well. I think the St. James's forwards are playing well. So it's a great contest between both sets. And then when you go down the other end, when you have a player the likes of Jack Davin inside, you know, that can win his own ball and take his own scores. He's bringing so many players into it. It's fantastic to watch these sets of forwards playing as James Egan strikes this one.
Yeah, the goalie has come up, James Egan. He has a go at this one, but it's gone out to the right hand side for a third wide for the St. James's side in this first half. So 3 wides for them. We're looking at Tuam. Tuam have only had 1 wide, but the score is the important thing. And it's St. James's 6 points, Tuam Stars 4 points, nothing between them. 27 minutes to 3 minutes to go to half time. Over the top this time. Poor kick out, not read well by the Tuam midfield. Mulvaney wins it for James's, gives it off to Keane Gillespie, the captain. Keane Gillespie is finding Daniel McNulty. McNulty looking up to see what's available. Plays a pop pass inside. Doesn't come off though because there's a Tuam man in the way. And that's Luke Fallon. Luke Fallon then trying to set up something for Tuam. Gets it off to Ronan Collard. Collard has been involved in quite a lot of activity. Mark Collard then, his brother, goes forward for Tuam. Flicks the ball forward and gives it off to Carton. Carton then plays it inside deep. One inside by Davin. Davin goes around his man once, twice, comes back again. He's got a player outside him in the form of Ronan Collard. Collard plays it across field. Right, it goes over to Callan Tynan. Tynan now goes down on the ball. Has to work hard to win it. Has to get a bit of support. Who's going to support him? He turns back inside. He's got a loose man in front of him. He gives it to him, and he gives it to Carl Ward. Carl Ward looking up to see what's available for him. Nothing available yet so far. Coming back out, and he finds Conor Heenan. Conor Heenan gives it inside. A chance of a score coming in and going out and over the bar. And then excellent score. I think it's Ronan Collard absolutely got on the end of that one, and he was over on this side of the field starting the move, and he finished it.
Yeah, he finished it, and he was on the right side and he kicked it with his right foot. I think there's 2 minutes injury time in total, Kev, that they're calling. But what a super score. The minute he struck it, I said, if that goes over, that could be score of the day so far from Ronan Collard.
2 minutes of injury time, and that's a crucial score. Tuam have got the last 3 scores, and that was after 5 scores from James's. So the pendulum has swung again. James's will need to score badly before half time. They've won a free. They've had difficulty putting over these frees from this side, Frank. But they crucially need a score now before half time.
To do, because it's the pendulum is swung in Tuam's favour now, and they have the bit between their teeth. I think Daniel McNulty was on the ball earlier from this side, but he's turned around. He's going to leave it to Jack Nolan to kick it on the right hand side with his left. So be interested to see how this one works as the breeze picks up again.
It's really blown in on top of us. Jack sends it out towards the far side. Is it going to stay out there? It does stay out there, and it's gone out, and it's gone wide for their 4th wide. So Tuam still just 1 point behind. James is just that point in front. It's St. James's 6 points, Tuam Stars 5 points. 29 minutes 16 seconds gone on the stopwatch here in Pearse Stadium in a highly entertaining Minor B Championship county final between Tuam Stars and St. James's. Alex Steele, the goalie for Tuam, on the 20-metre line, drives the ball out to this side of the field. 3 Tuam men there for it, and one of them to win it is Mark Colleran on the breaking ball. Mark Colleran gives it inside to Ronan Colleran, got the last score. Colleran gives it off now, coming out to win his Carton. Carton looking up now to see what's available. Is there a point available? No, there isn't. It goes out to the left hand side, and it goes out wide, the second wide for Tuam. Crucially, they're still 1 point behind, 6 points to 5, and 29 minutes gone, 30 minutes gone on the clock. We have 2 minutes of additional time, Frank.
Yeah, and I think, Adam, I think it was Adam Carton that broke through there. He was son of Tommy. He should have maybe just popped that ball off. He might have better more options. But you see, Tuam are getting on top around the middle sector again. Oh, the referee might have a little word here with somebody, Kevin.
Yeah, he had blown a whistle for a free because Carl Ward had won the ball in the air, and he had blown the whistle for a free. I think it's McNulty he's going to be talking to, or Mulvaney, is it?
No, it's number 12.
Number 12, actually. So it is, in fact, Jack Folan he's talking to, and it's a card for Jack Folan. And it's a black card for Jack Folan, is it? No, yellow card. We had that incident here yesterday where there was a yellow card flash, and the referee had a red card at the back of it, and everybody thought on one side of the field it was a red card, and on the other side a yellow card.
It depends on what team was involved in that to be a bit anxious over that one, Kevin.
They certainly were now, as Tuam lose the ball there badly too, and it's a chance now for James to try and get that other score, just to nudge them 2 ahead and just before half time, but the ball is spilled away, but the referee says foul, he done so, and it's 6 points to 5. Tuam didn't hear the whistle, kicked the ball away. Going back to recover it is James Egan now. He'll drive the ball out beyond the 45-metre line and give his team a chance to start again. And they managed to do that. The referee pulls the ball forward. Ian Castley goes forward with the ball, looking to see what he can do with it. He gives it off to Captain Keane Gillespie. Gillespie gives it to Infinity. Back to Gillespie. Gillespie looks now to see can he make inroads, but it's very lateral from them, and now they have to go back with. And the direct football that they were playing earlier on that was getting the scores for them, Frank, they're just not getting the opportunity to do that now, as Tuam put on a full core press. King Griffin goes in, wins the ball and wins a free, and unlucky there, Jack Davin hit him down the top of the head as he tried to win the ball.
Yeah, very accidental though. He was just putting his hands up, Jack Davern, in fairness to him, and he just got the top of his head. No harm done and no malice in that whatsoever.
So we have Keane Gillespie, the captain, again with the ball. 32 minutes now gone on the stopwatch. St. James is 6 points, Tuam Stars 5 points, and that's ideal time for Richie McNicholas to blow the whistle. Just to look again at the scores, Jack Davin and Luke Davin opening scoring for Tuam, and then we had Daniel McNulty, 2 from Jack Nolan, and Keane Griffin getting the scores before the water break to make it 4 points to 2 in favour of James's. Daniel McNulty and Jack Nolan then extended it to 6 points to 2 by the 21st minute, but Tuam came back strong in the 23rd, 24th and 29th minutes. Luke Davin, Carl Ward and Ronan Collard all getting points. Ronan Collard won a particularly good one, a team one, because his started the move himself underneath us here in the stand, and he finished it over on the far side of the field, top of the right, to get that particular score and make it 6 points to 5. Tuam had a couple of chances of goals. 2 brilliant saves from James Egan certainly has kept James in the game. But James is leading by 1 point at half time. Frank, your assessment of that first half.
Yeah, look, it's a very entertaining game. There's a point in it. Tuam had the advantage, or sorry, I beg your pardon, James has had the advantage of a strong breeze there, and they didn't. I thought a team going in at half time, Kevin, would need a 4 or 5 point lead with this breeze, but there's a point in it, and Tuam will be very happy of the two teams at the moment. James has started slowly, but came back into the game, and they'll be kind of disappointed, Kevin, that they didn't kick maybe another 2 or 3 points. But it's all to play for this game, and it's a very entertaining game, and we're really looking forward to the second half of it.
So at half time here, we'll take a break with St. James at 6 points, Tuam Stars 5 points.
He looks a big, strong man that can, catch a bit, and he must have maybe 6 or 7 inches on the likes of Matthew Mulvaney out there, Kevin, as Tuam strike first blood.
And it's Jack Davin, Tynan looking for support and gets the support in the form of Luke Davin. Luke Davin has a pot at the post, and he puts that one over the bar, and that's a super score by 2 or 3 Tuam, still managing to get it off, and he gives it off to Daniel McNulty, and McNulty has a go, and this time it's over the bar, and that's a very good score, and moving forward, and it's given off to Jack Nolan. Now Nolan looking to try and create a bit of space, kicks, this might be going short, no, it goes over the bar. It's an excellent score from him. Well, bomb a ball inside, this could be dangerous. It's very, very tight in there, and it's won again and kicked by Jack Nolan, and he kicks it over the bar, and that direct approach on the right hand side, he flicks it inside to Finnerty back to King Griffin. Goal chance on here, he has a shot at the post, and it goes over the bar, just over the bar. I could have to see what options are available for him. Gives it off now to Daniel McNulty. McNulty has a pot at the post. Is that good enough? It is absolutely superb, and with ease theory, but all he manages to do is knock it down to Jack Nolan. Nolan has a go at the post, and he drives it high, and he drives it over the bar, and that's an absolutely super.
Yeah, I think, the ball's turned over, Kevin, I'll hand it back to you.
Yeah, and a chance of a score here, and it's popped over the bar. Excellent score. That one coming in from the back out, and he finds Conor Heenan. Conor Heenan gives it inside. A chance of a score coming in and going out and over the bar, and an excellent score. And the team's back out again for the second half. We're still waiting for the referee at the middle of the field, Richie McNicholas. He went in for the hot cup of coffee, and we'll see what happens when the game starts. But very little between them, just 1 point between the sides. As we look at it here, St. James's 6 points, Tuam Stars 5 points, and Frank, very entertaining first half, nothing between them. Periods of domination. Tuam started well. James's came back before the water break, and after the water break got a couple of points, but then Tuam climbed back into it again.
They did, and Tuam are very ably assisted by the likes of Adam Carton, and Luke Davin at 14 or Jack Davin at 14 has been phenomenal at the edge of square, and Luke, his brother, obviously has kicked 2 points. So Carl Ward has been very strong out in the middle along with Mark Collar, and so Tuam have a very strong spine right down the middle, and I'd expect Tuam now to start squeezing a bit and asking a few more questions off the St. James's defence, especially with this breeze, Kevin. St. James's, Daniel McNulty missed 2 frees early on, but was good enough to step up and kick 2 points over the bar from play. Jack Nolan inside has kicked 3. He's been obviously a handful. We haven't seen much of Desi Hines, who was talked up a bit coming into the game, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. But Tuam are very dominant out in the middle sector, Kevin, and that could be pivotal to win in this second half period.
Another aspect of the game that I've quite enjoyed is the sporting nature of it. And it really has been a football game.
Yeah, and there's been there's been nothing out there that, the referee hasn't had to do much. Okay, there was a yellow card, but the yellow card was just a small thing. It wasn't anything to do with anything other than kicking a ball or whatever the case may be. But both teams they're playing football, and they're being out playing football because both of them are football teams. So it's good to see Kevin at this age also.
One of the things I've noticed here, Frank, and noticed it in Tuam Stadium as well, with teams not going into the dressing rooms, the turnover is much, much shorter.
Yeah, it's so quick, and by the time you get to the dressing room, say in Tuam or Pearse Stadium, and you sit down and the lads get relaxed for a couple of minutes, you really do use the 15, but here, because they just go into the stands, it's like a 7 or 8 to 10 minute max, and as we see, the referee used the 15, whereas the teams were on the field after 8 to 10 minutes ready to go again, and both of them now will be anxious to get on with this, but the breeze, Kevin, is picking up in a big way, and it very much favours Tuam now.
Yeah, and the scoreline, of course, favours St. James's at this stage. And, of course, having a lead, any lead is important.
Oh, it is, and to protect the lead. But, if James can do that for the first 5 or 6 minutes of the second half, that'll give their confidence knowing. But if Tuam win this ball and drive down and drive it over the bar, they'll be relying St. James on James Egan's kick-outs then will come into play. And with the dominance of, the Tuam midfield, that's going to be a huge factor in the second half with their goalkeeper.
So it's Mark Collar and Carl Ward for Tuam Stars against Owen Finnerty, and Matthew Mulvaney out in the middle of the field for James's, and it's won quite easily there by Mark Collard up high to win it, plays the ball in early. Chance now for Tuam to try and create something. Doesn't come off the Tuam player. He goes to ground in a clash there, and it's won by James's, and Bacon counter-attack here, and they'll be delighted with that because an opportunity is Owen Finnerty pushes forward for them, tries to find the man on the outside, Daniel McNulty. McNulty now makes a way over to the right hand side, still going over to the right hand side, looks to have a shot at the post. This one is going to drop short, and it does into the goalie Alex Steele, and Steele is there for Tuam to claim it quite easily. Now Tuam can counter-attack. Is this going to be a long ball? Oh, played neatly along the ground. Clever ball it is, and quickly played inside by Callan Tynan, and Tuam are on the attack now with that. The young Carton, this is Adam Carton go forward. Oh, the player falls to the ground. Unfortunately, Callan Tynan just lost his footing, and that could be crucial.
Well, they turned it over again, Kevin. They're in on goal. If he wins this, well, he's going to turn it over again by St. James. Both teams are turning over ball in dangerous positions.
The cold wind, is that a factor, Frank?
Yeah, possibly could, and maybe they missed a hot cup of tea in the dressing room as we alluded to earlier on, but James Egan has the ball inside his own square now.
So it's a long way up now, but it will be an effort by James's to try and move this ball from one end of Pearse Stadium to the other, and it's going to take a lot of hard work against this breeze, but they're prepared to put their shoulder to the wheel and do that. And Joey O'Hara has the ball in his hand, looks to the far side to see what kind of get-out clause is there for him. The ball played forward now to Keane Gillespie. Gillespie looks along the ground to find a man along the ground. That man is Owen Finnerty, and he has a bit of pace, and he's burning off the two man. Still going forward. Owen Finnerty, he's got a player outside him, but unfortunately for Owen Finnerty, lost the ball, and then he flicks it inside. A chance here for a score and it's in the back of the net. Absolutely colossal score for the James's side. A brilliant score. Just looking to see who in fact got it. I think it was the Jack Nolan, the number 15 that got one. The ball spilled away from the James's players that went through, Frank, buried it in the back of the net.
Buried it in the back of the net, and Tuam had the ball and it just lost it for a split second. I thought they were clearing their lines, but that's a goal, and that's a big, huge plus to St. James's. Now Tuam have to turn around 4 points down. What answers do Tuam have?
So it's 5 points now. It's 1-6 for James's, and it's 3 minutes gone on the clock. Tynan flicks the ball inside now for Carl Ward. Carl Ward's shot half blocked down. Great defending again from James. If they've done that so far at the start of the second half, they stopped at least 2 Tuam attacks, and that has resulted in a goal for them. And they'll have their back up now because they have won the score that was crucial for them. That goal, Tuam couldn't get a goal against the Breeze in the first half. They have managed to do it in the second half, and it's a real fill-up for them. Ball driven forward now. Matthew Mulvaney with the ball in his hands. Looks now to run at Tuam. Adam Carton there to try and stop him. Mulvaney gets around his man with a little hop, then goes forward. Showing great pace onto the 45. Got a man outside him, Keane Griffin. Griffin now looks to see what he might do with it. Plays it inside. Really good ball inside toward Desi Hines. Hines can't hold on to it at the first attempt. Picks it up at the second attempt. Tries to go around his man. Flicks it back outside towards the goal scorer. Neat little swerve there. Oh, it's a super save off the post, off the upright, and back into the goalie's hand. What a fantastic series of saves from Alex Dean. Brilliant stuff from Tuam.
Well, he just kept his game in the county final, Kevin, because I've seen some saves, but that was absolutely phenomenal. That's up there with some of the best, because he pushed it onto the crossbar and the present minds to jump to his feet again quickly as keepers do, and won the ball and popped it off again. But James have the bit between their teeth now.
And they have Mulvaney going forward here now. They're really running at Tuam. Now he's going to have a pop at the post. This one is driven out to the left, and it's driven wide, and that's the 5th wide for St. James's. St. James's 1 goal and 6 points. Tuam Stars 5 points. 4 minutes into the second half, and that goal on the second minute was a vital goal for St. James's, giving them the kind of confidence that they might need to see Tuam out. Tuam are warming up a player down underneath us here. We'll see what's going to happen and who's coming on in a few minutes. He's getting these instructions from Michael Hogan as we watch the goalie now place this one on the ground and kick it out to this side of the field. And it's one. Oh no, unfortunately it goes over the player's head. Mark Collin has it, drops the ball to the ground, gets back up and looks to see what he can do. Flicks the ball inside into space. Running onto it now is Heenan. Heenan plays it inside, in towards the full forward division. And a chance of a score here for Tuam. Kicked high and kicked over the bar. An excellent score for Tuam inside there. And the scorer was Callan Tynan, the number 11 centre forward for Tuam.
Yeah, and a beautiful kick pass, and it was a well-worked score. I think we see Oshie McWalters coming into play, Kevin, just as there's a break in play.
So Tuam making a substitution, bringing off Oshie McWalters. I think it's Adam Carton that's coming off.
Just looking to see, it looks to be the wing back, maybe Cahill Mannion. Would that be correct, sir?
Yeah, it could be Cahill Mannion, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. You've got it right there. It's Cahill Mannion that's coming off at 17 for 7 is the change there. As Tuam now try and add to that score, and out in the middle of the field, they win the ball, win the mark, and they're played by Carl Ward towards Mark Collin. Collin looks up now, plays the ball deep inside. Tynan inside there, wins the ball, goes around his man now, has a chance to try and set up a score on this side of the field, but it's kicked high up into the air. Is this going to go out wide? It is going to go out wide, and that's certainly a waste.
Well, it is, Kevin, because Tuam they were in a great position with that ball. I think it was Ronan Collin just went and pulled the trigger, and he had a couple of players to his right shoulder that he could have popped the ball to, and they could have took it in even further and maybe fisted the ball over the bar from that range. But it was wrong option there, and at this stage of the game, Tuam need to settle down. Jameses are in the ascendancy now, and Tuam need to get back into the game.
They've put Callan Tynan into the full forward line, and they've brought Ronan Collin, I think, into the centre forward position as Carl Ward wins the ball in the middle of the free field and then wins the free from it as Tuam try and get back against that goal. There's a goal between them. St. James's 1-6, Tuam Stars 6 points. 7 minutes now on the stopwatch. Mark Collin now trying to see what he can do, putting this one down on the floor again and going to have a pot from about 50 metres out, Frank.
Yeah, 50 metres. He's wind assisted this time. He kicked one earlier on off the floor and he had the distance against the breeze. It just went wide. So he probably fancied himself. He's hitting this, hit it towards the left post and let the breeze bring it back in. Once he gets it up there, it's anyone's thing, Kevin, with the breeze, the way it's playing. But he's running up. He seems to strike a ball well. So we'll see how this goes for him.
Yeah, they've had difficulty getting scores from this side of the field, but that is an absolute monster of a kick. What a kick, Frank.
A beauty. And the minute he hit it, I said that's straight over. There was no issues, and I had another 5 or 6 yards behind the post. Aimed it towards the left post, and the breeze took it in. beautiful score, and that gets Tuam back into this game. James has got the great start to win 4 up, and it's only a 2-point game again, and goals win you games, Kevin. Both keepers we can talk about, and James Egan in the first half, but Alex Steele, I believe, certainly kept Tuam in this county final, because if that other goal went in just a couple of minutes back, it would be a different game. So James will be looking at trying to hold on to the 2-point lead or a point lead, but I think it's Matthew Mulvaney, yeah, he's down injured at the minute. He'd be a big loss to St. James if he was to leave the field.
Yeah, Mark Collin with that free, just keeping us now to a 2-point ball game. St. James has won 6, Tuam Stars 7 points. James is having the fill-up of that particular goal just at the restart. Jack Nolan finishing to the net. A bit of a scrappy effort, a ball that broke loose on the floor, and eventually he got to it and put it in the back of the net and rattled Tuam. Now Tuam try to win this particular kick out, but they haven't managed to do that. Instead, the free goes in to Kevin Brennan for James's, but it's poorly taken, and Tuam can overturn this, and Carton has this one in his hand and looks to see what he can create. It's a two-sided ball, and it's won again by James's. Then there's a foul on the James's man, and it's going to be a free out for James's. And really, Owen Finnerty doing great work for them. He's a small man at the middle of the field, Frank, but he's a dynamite.
Yeah, he's got a great engine in him, and he's covering every blade of grass, and he's very disciplined in how he goes about his work. He's having a fantastic game around the middle. And Kevin, he's been outshone as in regards height, but he's certainly making it up with heart.
Adam Carton wins the ball there from a poor kick from that free. He gives it off to Mark Collin. Mark Collin gives it inside now as Tuam play one of the Davins into it. Now it's Callantyne now on the run for Tuam. He's into the 20-metre line. Flicks the ball inside. This could be dangerous. The goalie just comes out and manages to get to it. Diving save. That could have been really dangerous. Goal chance for Tuam.
Goal chance for Tuam, and the keeper done very well. It's been a case of both keepers now in the first and second half, and I see the James's management line are getting a bit anxious now. Ball picked off the ground, but Tuam are coming again.
Carl Ward there to set up a chance for Tuam, and gives it off now to Luke Davin. Luke, we haven't seen a lot of him. He manages to play the ball inside. 1-2, Callantyne on the end of it now. Tynan looks to see what options. Very crowded in there. It's Luke Davin that has the pot of the post. It's Luke Davin that puts it over the bar. It's Luke Davin that narrows the gap. It's 8 points now. 1-6 for James.
Yeah, and Luke Davin done everything right. I think it was Ushy McWalter, the sub, that came in, and he had the presence of mind just to pop it back to Luke Davin, and he kicks his third, I think it's his third point from playing. He's playing very, very well. The two Davins inside, they're playing absolutely fantastic for Tuam, and they'll need them as the game goes on. Only a point in it. 10
minutes gone now. Ken James is respond. Mulvaney with the ball in his hand, cycling forward, goes past the 45-metre line, still soloing forward, but the ball is knocked away from his hand and done so illegally, says Richie McNicholas. A lot of incensed reaction here. The James' crowd delighted with it, the Tuam crowd not happy at all.
Yeah, that's a tough one, but who'd be a referee, Kevin? That the referee called it, and he gives a free, so it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, but it was a tough call, because I think Matthew Mulvaney be more wiser, let the ball do the work and pop it off, because he was just running over of days and he got a free. Maybe people might question.
Owen Finnerty just on the edge of the D now, looking to see as he makes the angle a little bit safer for himself. And indeed, he has no problems, because he's put that one over the bar, and that's crucially a very important score. It's the first score since the second minute, so Tuam holding them scores early for 9 minutes with that free from Owen Finnerty, now making it Tuam 8 points, but crucially it's 1 goal and 9 points for St. James's, and we're looking at 11 minutes gone on the stopwatch. Out in the middle of the field, easy claim for Mulvaney, Matthew Mulvaney now looking to see what's available. He's got McNulty going forward, he's got a man inside. Oh, great interception, and then the ball is lost again. A chance of a goal here, but Tuam crowded out, flicked out to the far side of the field, and it's with McNulty again. McNulty tried to go inside, deep have overcarried, and this time Richie McNicholas gives the free against the St. James's side. Tuam win the free and get a chance to clear their lines and breathe again.
Yeah, breathe again is right, Kevin, and it's intense stuff. It's fantastic, but it'd be more wiser if Daniel McNulty went for a point. You don't need to be going for goals all the time. Just keep chipping away at the scoreboard, and he'd be better off if he stuck it over the bar as Tuam go long and go fast in again.
Great stuff inside, and a mark called. Brilliantly done. Absolutely. We don't see enough of that. And a chance now for Tuam to get a score. Jack Davin.
Yeah, Jack Davin. And as I said earlier on, he's playing at full forward. He's a fantastic looking player. I hope we put the commentators cursing him as he strikes the ball cleanly and strikes the ball over the bar.
That's a great score from Jack Davin from a mark. And that narrows the gap again now. 1-9 for James's, 9 points. 1-7 for James's, 9 points for Tuam, just to clarify that. 1-7 for James's, 9 points for Tuam, just to with 12 minutes gone on the stopwatch and just 1 point between them.
Yeah, 1 point between them. I think it's King Griffin that had the ball down there. He seemed to overcarry or something, and it's turning over. So, the pendulum is swinging now in favour of Tuam, and with the breeze behind them, they really want to start punishing these opportunities when they get it. I see James are bringing in, I think it's number 23. Was it Daniel Kennedy, maybe? Kennedy, Kevin, that's warming up on the sideline. But we'll just follow play and see where Tuam have possession of the ball.
Ball played indeed. Now again, Tuam have been working well with this one. Luke Davin with a chance here. Goes off the left. Goes out to the left-hand side and goes wide. And the chance of levelling it there goes against Tuam Stars. 1-7 for James's. That's 10 points. Tuam Stars 9 points.
Yes, indeed, and it's a very entertaining game. It's just tit for tat. You score, we score, and James are messing around with the ball here, and they don't want to be doing it in their full back line.
And out it comes to Darren Neary, the full back, very close to the sideline. Solo's down along the sideline now, and a lot of the work has to be for James is to carry this ball forward. They get the ball away to Jack Folan. Folan now goes forward, tries to look to see what options are available for him. Cuts the ball right across the field towards Griffin, but it's gone too far. Is that going to go out over the sideline? No. Kept in play by Jack Nolan. Jack Nolan now trying to cut inside his man, and does cut inside his man. This could be dangerous for Tuam. He has another goal, and he has a shot at the goals. And it's a brilliant goal and a fantastic individual effort from Jack Nolan.
Oh, it was beautiful. Absolutely fantastic goal. I mean, he had so much work to do, and once he got around the Tuam player, there was another chap waiting for him, but he still had the presence of mind to keep it low into the fair corner. Super finishing. He's been a handful in there all day, and he's playing very, very well, Jack Nolan. Well done.
Yeah, and now we have St. James's 2 goals and 7 points. Tuam Stars 9 points. They got the first goal in the second minute from they started the restart. 1-6 to 5 points. Tuam came back with scores from Colin Tynan, Mark Collin with a 50-metre free, and Luke Davin. Owen Finnerty got one back from a free for the St. James's side. 1-7 to 8 points. Jack Davin then narrowed it 1-7 to 9 points, and now Jack Nolan out the sideline, winning a ball that looked like it might go out over the end line or the sideline on the far side of the field. Got around his man, cut in from the 13-metre line right in, and gave Alex Steele no chance at all in the Tuam net. Buried it low into the left corner. A great goal from Jack Nolan. 14 minutes gone on the stopwatch. St. James's 2 goals and 7 points. Tuam Stars 9 points. And really now it looks like it's in James's camp at this stage.
Yeah, well it is, but at this age group, Kev, you never know how the pendulum can swing. 1 minute it looks to be Tuam that we're in the ascendancy. Now it's St. James's. So it'll be interesting to see how James come out. They're 4 points up now, and what Tuam can do, and what's the response from Tuam.
Owen Finnerty with the ball. This diminutive midfielder plays it out this side to Matthew Mulvaney. Mulvaney was going to have a shot, but he was knocked away and blocked away, and it's been recovered. The referee says play on. There was some shouting for a bit of off the ball stuff there, but no, it doesn't happen as James is recycled now again. Finnerty again looking to see what options are available, goes across the field, gives it off to Ian Casserly. Casserly tries to play it inside to a man that has been causing awful damage inside, and that's Jack Nolan. Nolan now with the ball again, looking to see. He gives it to McNulty. Daniel McNulty looking to try and create a space for himself. Going in again into the danger area. Flicks it high and flicks it over the bar. And that's a great score. And really and truly, the effort and intensity from these James's forwards, Tuam are really struggling to deal with it.
Yeah, they're struggling to deal with it because James have just squeezed it. They've just upped the ante a small bit, and that's the water break coming up. But Daniel McNulty just fisted that. We had the presence of mind to fist that one over, and a lot of credit goes down to Jack Nolan as well, because he won the ball and turned around and unselfishly popped it off to Daniel McNulty, and he in turn fisted over the bar. So look at James's are well on top in this half. They're playing against the breeze. We always thought that that the likes of Tuam might step up after taking the breeze and driving on, and they got one in a point kept, but they just seem can't to get their nose in front in this second half. And James are doing everything right at the moment, and of course when they get the goal opportunities, they've taken 2 of them.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about it, the intensity of the game here, certainly up to the water break, has been very, very good. We've seen some great football, and James is in particular really challenging Tuam by taking them on and running at them. We saw that the individual goal there from Jack Nolan, and again Daniel McNulty with that score. It's taken on the Tuam team and really having a cut at them, running at them, and Tuam really will have to do a bit more work if they're trying to close down that space and prevent them getting into the areas where they're really dangerous.
Yeah, that's very true, Kev, because the fact of the matter is that the James's forwards are so quick, and it's causing huge problems for the full back line in relation to the Tuam full back line. They're just very quick and they're very direct, and when they get it, they're just going to go, because they know if we get touched or we get a push, they're down and they're looking for the free, and it's a simple tap over free. Whereas the other side of the coin, Tuam are working hard, but it's just when they get it up to the foot, they're so reliant on the likes of Jack Davern and Luke Davern inside that they can't be relying on them two all the time. They need other players to step up now. I mean, they're 5 points down with 13-14 minutes to go, Kevin. It's a county final, so other players now have to step forward for Tuam in this second period.
Right, we're into the last quarter. It's 2 goals and 8 points for St. James's. It's 9 points for the Tuam Stars, and we're about to restart here after the water break. The goals from Jack Nolan have been crucial. 2 goals from him have made a huge difference in this particular game, as we watch Richard McNicholas out in the middle of the field now, and he's calling on Tuam to restart this particular game after that score from Daniel McNulty. A fantastic fisted point, and 14 points to 9. You'd have to say that the advantage was really with Tuam, but the water break has been significant in many matches so far. It's given teams a chance to reorganise themselves and get going again, and that's what they're going to do. Mark Collard playing the ball forward now for Tuam, goes too far away from Jack Davin, spills inside. Was that picked off the ground? No, says the referee. It was a fair enough claim, and it goes to James Egan, the goalie. James Egan, though, unfortunately doesn't do much with it and is put out over the sideline. It's going to be a line ball for Tuam on this side of the field. Going out there is the left-footed Mark Collard to take it, and he'd be hoping to try and set up something, but you'd imagine Frank Tuam will need to rattle the net if to get back into this game.
Yeah, you would think so. I think they do need a goal. 5 points is a big lead, and Tuam have the breeze at the back, but Kevin, if I was the management, I'd be saying just chip away at the scores. You don't have to go for the goal yet. You can wait till the last 5 minutes, but keep chipping away at the points.
And have we a chance here of seeing a point being chipped away? What a superb point that was from Mark Collard. Played a 1-2 twice across from the sideline and put it over from 45 metres out.
Yeah, beautiful striker of the ball, and he was always wanted to come onto his left foot and just cut across, and once he put it up there, it was straight over the black spot, we'd say, and he's a very accomplished footballer. As I say, Kevin, it's only a 4-point game still. You can't rule out Tuam.
Keith Griffin on the far side of the field wins the kick out for James's. Looks around to see not a lot of options. It's tight back there, but the ball goes out over the sideline, and it's a line ball for Tuam. And now a chance for Tuam to maybe get 2 scores in a row, and that would be very important for them. Ball played in, loose man inside. There's Davin now, and he's going to have a pot at the post. He kicks it high. Is this going to make its way over the bar? It does, and that's a great score. Absolutely superb score from Jack Davin.
Yeah, I thought for a minute he was going to take the mark and just steadied himself, but he had the presence of mind, and he backed himself to kick it over his shoulder and straight over the bar. As I said, there were 5 up. James is now it's back to 3.
Keith Griffin again on the ball this side, on the far side of the field now. This time he's got a bit of help in Owen Finnerty. Last time it was a bit too tight. Finnerty plays the ball forward into Desi Hines. Haven't seen a lot of Desi so far. He's looking up now to see what's available for him. Tries to cut inside. Desi plays it back out. And winning for it again is the wing back for the James' side, plays it into Matthew Mulvaney. Mulvaney goes around his man now, flicks it inside. This could be dangerous again as Keith Griffin gets inside his man and then pops it high and pops it over the bar. And that's really a neat score from Keith Griffin.
Yeah, it was, Kevin, because King Griffin has been, he's been out there and he's been fighting a lone furrow on the wing, and he's a very diminutive player. He just gets on with his job and wins the ball and attacks, and he's doing super out there, and that could be a bad kick out by the Tuam goalkeeper there, Kevin, as James is coming in.
James is coming in on Finnerty. 21 minutes gone. It's Tuam Stars 11 points, and it's now 2 goals and 9 points. 15 points for St. James's. On the far side of the field, they're looking to build again and try and build another score and hold on to this precious lead that they have and claim this minor B title. Going forward is Mulvaney. Again, running at the Tuam players. Tuam find it very difficult as the pace of Mulvaney takes him forward, takes him into the tackle, and he wins the free on the far side of the field. And this could be a very important free on that far side of the field. Who do you reckon might take this on, Frank?
Yeah, well, it seems to be Daniel McNulty. He's got the left foot, so it's way over on the right. I'd fancy Daniel McNulty. He may go short, but then again, he might have a cut at it. But the wise thing is for James to keep possession as they do.
And they do that. Keane Griffin quickly enough backed off his man and made the space for himself to get the ball, and now they can play 1-2 and hold possession over there. And the more times they hold possession, the longer they have the ball, of course, the more the clock ticks down and the more their lead is secure. 2 goals and 9 points, 15 points to 11 for Tuam Stars, but they lose the ball. It's overturned, and now Adam Carton has it for Tuam, gives it to Mark Collard. He got a great score for Tuam in the 16th minute, looks to see what he might create, looking for Tynan, plays the ball down towards Callan Tynan, close to the sideline. He's got to play it back inside. Carl Ward is there for Tuam. Carl Ward looks up, solos the ball forward, gives it to Collard again. Collard then gives it off to McWalter, who came in as a sub, off to Davin, and now it's with Conor Heenan. Conor Heenan looking to see what might be created. Davin has it again, trying to get in a scoring chance. Goes around his man, takes inside and outside and gives it off to his brother Luke. And Luke puts this one high and puts it over the bar. And a really well worked score from Tuam Stars.
Two brothers, telepathic. Jack Davin to Luke Davin and over the bar. And, you know, it's back to a 3-point game. And, you know, James we're trying to take this thing out of the game by, you know, tip-tapping around over in the Tuam 21-yard line. Ball turned over. It's dangerous too early in the game for that stuff, Kevin. They should be playing the game the way it should be played and not giving the ball away. It's a free to Tuam and they're only 3 down.
Yeah, and it's well won there by Colin Cunningham. And now it's a chance for the left footer from Tuam, Mark Collard. He's putting this one down, and we saw him do this earlier on with a 45, Frank.
Yeah, and he'll be again, Kevin. He's a beautiful striker of the ball off his right side, kicking with his left. He'll be looking at the far left post to bring it back in. He kicked a beauty earlier on. Can he bring it back to a 2-point game now?
We'll wait to see now. He's taking his time, steadying himself. 12 points. This could make it 13, 15, and he drives it. It's not going to curl enough, though. It's going to be in around the house, and it drops into the goalie's hand. And 2 Tuam men were in the square, and no hesitation from Richie McNicholas to blow the whistle and say that's a free out. You can't be in the square for a free, and the ball is won, and Keane Griffin is on the far side of the field now, soloing forward for James. He's done a power work for them this afternoon, has this man Owen Finnerty. Finnerty now going down the side. He's pulled and dragged, but he gets a ball off to Daniel McNulty. McNulty now charges forward, tries to take on the Tuam man. He's fouled, brought to the ground, and it's going to be a free in for St. James's, who lead now 2-9. That's 15 points to 12. 3 points in it. We did say earlier on Frank Tuam might need a goal. Well, the time now is approaching when they will be desperately looking to find the net, because we have 25 minutes gone on the stopwatch, and plus maybe a couple of minutes for the water break.
Yeah, you're looking at probably 7 or 8 minutes in total to play. You know, it's still a 3-point game, but you're probably right, Kevin, at this stage. Probably that goal would do Tuam no harm, but Owen Finnerty out around the middle of the park has been outstanding for St. James. He's driven them on every time he can, and, you know, he's been absolutely superb, and I think he kicked a point as well from out there, so he's led his team well from that mid-sector.
Fionn Conway took the ball that time from the free, but that was passed back to him. He ran into a man, ran into trouble, but managed indeed to win a free, and now the ball is kicked wildly to this side of the field, but for James it's claimed, and it's now a chance for them to push forward in the form of Jack Folan. Folan trying to go inside his man. He wins a free. Tuam now not letting the St. James's lads run at them like they did in the first half and early in the second half.
Yeah, they're trying to block up the holes and try and ask the questions off the St. James's forwards. You know, it's still a free. The linesman is just telling. I think it's going to be. Is it number 12? It is. Jack Folan's going to stand over this one. He's the man that took the free on. There's been a change of plan. Are they going to go short? Yes, they're going to go long and short and keep possession.
Keane Griffin working very, very hard for them, coming from the far side of the field to win that ball. Plays a lovely ball inside to Hines now. Hines looking to see what kind of support he's got. He's got support in Owen Finnerty. Gives it back out to Hines again. Hines goes around his man. He's going in towards the goal. This is where they were dangerous earlier on. The ball is one inside. A chip shot. And Hines himself, I think, stopped that ball from going in the back of the net. The ball is on the ground. There's a schmozzle in there. It seems to have been touched on the ground, and it's going to be a free out, and that could have been a third goal for James's.
Yeah, and a third goal from Jack Nolan, because he pulled it in. I think young Hines fell on the ball, so he got in the way of his own player's strike. But Tuam come again, and 3-point game, Kevin. There's still plenty of time for Tuam. James's need to get bodies back behind this ball and just close out the shop.
Fitness levels are going to be important now. Who's the fittest to last out this last 7 minutes that might be played in this game yet? As Tuam come forward, punch the ball inside. Now chance for Tuam to try and get another score. They're looking to see what they might do here. Giving the ball to Callan-Tynan. Callan-Tynan now kicks it high, but it goes out to the right hand side, and that's certainly a waste. There was a player inside looking for the ball, and he was furious that he didn't get it.
Yeah, I think Luke Davenant made a good run, and if Callum could see it again, he probably would have turned around and popped it into him, because there was a goal chance on there, but just went a bit long. But Tuam need to put a full press on here, Kev, to want to turn over this ball.
So here it comes, the kick out from James Egan. Tuam get the hands to it, and then it's played inside it. There's a pull on the hand there by Colin Cunningham, and it's going to be a free in for Tuam. And this one is certainly within the range of the player. Well, it's a bit further out than I thought. I thought the foul was committed on the 45-metre line, but it seems to be further out. Now Mark Colleran has a difficult one.
Yeah, and but he was, what was he 50 metres out when he kicked the one there about 10 or 15 minutes ago, so he has the range, because it went 5 or 6 yards over the post, but he has the range, he has the accuracy, he's a beautiful striker of the ball, so we'll just see can he finish this one through.
Crucial one for Tuam, for them to get the 3 points behind. This would narrow the gap to 2. He's driven it in towards the post. Is it going to go over the bar? It just sneaks over the bar. What a score from Mark Colleran, and the pressure that was on him taking that particular kick, Frank.
Well, that was phenomenal, really. You have to just stand up and applaud that, because that was a fantastic strike under pressure. And the way it was like a true, golf shot. The way he just followed through with his everything was right about him. Beautiful strike and beautifully over the bar. 2-point game, plenty of time for Tuam.
28 minutes now on the stopwatch, and that's crucial. But big ball over the top goes to Keane Griffin. 4 minutes of additional time. We have 6 minutes left to play. Chance here now for the game to finish. Desi Hines with the ball in his hand, and he sticks it in the back of the net. It's a goal. It's a goal for James's from the kick out. Keane Griffin doing very, very well to win the ball. Plays it in early, and Desi Hines, who had been quiet enough all throughout the afternoon, manages to get around his man, and a crucial goal for James's. 3 goals and 9 points. St. James's. Tuam Stars 13 points.
Crucial goal from Desi Hines. We haven't seen much of Desi Hines. He came in with a bit of a reputation into the game and just didn't see much of him, but he got the goal there. I think they were going to pull it back for a penalty if he hasn't been pulled down. Maybe Derek Cunningham got his arm around him as he dragged him, but he had the presence of mind just to get the foot when he dropped it onto the floor and get the foot in. So that's looking like a big plus for St. James. Now you can never say it's done till it's over, but that's a huge nail in the coffin to Tuam.
18 points to 13. Tuam have the ball in their hand, and they'll be looking for Carl Ward to try and do something here, but he can't do anything because Owen Finnerty has robbed him, and robbed him legally, says Richie McNicholas. And now the tails are up, and Matthew Mulvaney pushes forward. McWalter trying to close him down. Mulvaney still going forward. Will he pop this over the bar? He does pop it over the bar, and that is curtains, I would say, for Tuam. It's 3 goals and 10 points for James's, 13 points for Tuam Stars, but you'd have to hand it to James's. Tuam Stars were brave, valiant, but James's side just that better all the way through.
Yeah, and I suppose, Kevin, when you're looking at the scores, James had a lot of scores all around the pitch where Tuam were reliant on the 2 Devons inside most of the time, and fair play to Mark Colleran out around the middle of the park. He's a fantastic game. He's on the ball again. The referee's going, oh. There's no need for this. It's just everybody want to take a step back and just cool down a small bit, because
things are quiet. Could we ask people?
But the score, but looking at the score line, it's 3-10 to 13 points in favour of St. James. James just need to settle down in the game. Tuam are just a little bit anxious the way things are going.
Yeah, the last score then for James's.
Yeah, the last score for James is just took the ball on, popped it over. I think it was Matthew Mulvaney, took it in his stride and drove on and popped it over the bar. And a beautiful score. And James are in this, and it's just a yellow card. And let's get back on with the game.
Yeah, it's going to be a hot ball in the middle of the field. We look at stopwatch, 30 minutes gone. We said 4 added. Tuam have 4 added minutes. It's 19 points now to 13. 6 points in it, and it's James is now that are on the rampage. They're going forward again, and the ball is won back there, and the free one by Jack Folan. He has done a lot of hard work, and Tuam would really need to hold their discipline here if they're trying to get something back out of this game. They need 2 goals, and it's going to be a booking here for one of the Tuam lads, and that's a pity really, because we haven't seen a lot of this in the game right throughout it. It's been played in a very sporting fashion, as Adam Carton picks up a yellow card there from Richie McNicholas, and Folan, actually Owen Finnerty has the ball in his hand, and he's been outstanding at the middle of the field for the James side. If you're going to be picking a man of the match, he'll be certainly in the calculations. Watching now as he drives this one with the right, and it looks like it's going to drop in short, and it does. It's claimed back there by Alex Steele, who did very little wrong for Tuam. You couldn't fault him for any of the goals, there's no doubt about that. He had a very good game, made some great saves for them, but unfortunately 3 times the ball went past him, and there were really excellent scores as Tuam come forward now. They need a goal, they need it badly. Collin going forward, goes to ground, wins a free. He won't be taking this one off the surface. He'll be playing it in deep, plays it inside now in towards the square, inside towards the big man. Ball breaks loose and it's claimed back there by James Egan. James Egan now the goalie for St. James's comes out this side of the field looking to try and clear his lines as Tuam put a hardcore press on and try and prevent the James's side from coming out. They have to go across the goal, always a dangerous thing to do. Ball played out and it's won back there and claimed by Kevin Grennan. Grennan now looking to see what he might do. Still the hard press court comes from Tuam as they try and dispossess James's. Ball played to this side of the field. Loose man out this side of the field is Darren Neary, the full-back. He's done well for them right throughout the afternoon, and he's done well there. He's won the free, and that could be a crucial free. 33 minutes, 32 and a half minutes gone on the stopwatch. We're heading towards that crucial 4th minute of added time. It's 3 goals and 10 points for St. James's, 13 points for Tuam Stars, and it looks like it's going to be St. James's that'll be claiming this title. Who'll be picking the cup up off the table? Well, that's Keane Gillespie, their captain. He looks like the man that'll be picking the cup off the table. Can Tuam work something now? Driven the ball in from Mark Collin, but gone out to the right and gone out wide. And really a very tame effort from Tuam on that occasion.
You just need to steady the ship a bit. It's just, a bit rash on him, just taking the shot on when it wasn't on. And, you just got to keep play, Kevin. You're losing the game. You want to keep the ball in play, keep possession of the ball and try and work something. Try and work a point, try and work a score. In this case, they need a goal. So, just playing into St. James's hands at the moment.
James Egan, who made some great stops for the side for St. James's early on in the game, now taking the kick out, and his kick outs have been quite good, and he manages to drive this one. One of them led to the ball going over the top for Keane Griffin, who sent the ball into the full forward line, and that resulted in a goal. Now Tuam have the ball and have possession over the top and over the Jack Davin's head, and it's claimed back there by Kevin Grennan, and he's done very, very well. The wing back gives it off to Keane Gillespie. Gillespie now is James has played very tight. Gillespie has the ball in his hand, the captain, looking to try and extricate themselves from this, and they managed to do that. The goalie under a lot of pressure, but he gets the ball out to Owen Finnerty, and he's hit with a heavy charge, and the referee blows the whistle, and it's all over. It's all over. It's victory for St. James in the final score. 3 goals and 10 points. Tuam Stars 13 points. An excellent game of football. Really entertaining. Really enjoyable. St. James is just the better side of the day, Frank. And who would you be looking at for your man of the match?
Well, I suppose, listen, we'll have to talk about Tuam Stars first. They were absolutely brilliant, I thought. They played a fantastic game of football, and hats off to Tuam Stars and the players out there. On the plus side for Tuam, Alex Steele kept them in the game. Two fantastic saves, in the second half. The game could have been over a lot earlier. Mark Collin played very well in midfield for Tuam, and the 2 forwards that stood out for me up top was 13 and 14, the 2 brothers Luke Davin and Jack Davin. Between them they kicked, I think it was 7 to 8 points, so that was fantastic. On the winning side today, Kevin, King Gillespie played well in the half-back line. Owen Finnerty was outstanding in midfield, ably helped by Matthew Mulvaney. And then you have to look at Danny McNulty. He kicked 3 points from centre forward. King Griffin had 2 from playing at wing forward, but the outstanding full forward today to me was, with 2-3 of the whole score, was Jack Nolan for St. James, Kevin. He was the difference. 2-3 from play is a phenomenal score, especially in a final any day of the week. But 2 teams served up a great game of football, and it was a great pleasure to watch them, and I'm delighted. Obviously I live up in that particular area with St. James, so I have to say well done to everybody involved, and to the management team, with Dare Henry, Alan O'Donnell, Ronan McNulty, Jimmy Gillespie, and all the rest of the lads. Just well done to them all, and commiserations of course to Michael Hogan, Jeff and Stuart Barrows from Tuam. Fantastic game of football from both teams, Kevin, and James just deserved it on the day, I feel.
Yeah, and Jack Nolan was the crucial player really on that inside forward line.
Yeah, Kevin, as I said, you kick 2-3 from play in a county final is phenomenal. That's a big turnaround. Like, that's 9 points, of a score, Kevin. As you know, when you can do that in a county final, you're usually on the winning side of the teams. So, well done to Jack Nolan, and well done to the St. James's team. St. James need this too, Kevin, because they haven't won too many minor titles for the last number of years, and you know they need to be pulling through lads coming from minor teams like this and under 21 teams that they can keep the conveyor belt going with senior. You know, we've all seen what Tuam have done last year, you know, county final and getting to the latter stages of a semi-final again this year, so they have lads coming through, and in particular I think that Mark Holland around the middle of the park is a fantastic prospect, and you know Jack Davin inside of 14, he's going to turn into some player if he keeps progressing, but it's James's day and deservedly so, and well done to them.
Yeah, and just watching as Richie Becklick, Tom Ryder and Noel Dempsey, the linesmen and the referee come off the field. Good job from Richard McNicholas. Well done today.
Oh, absolutely. The referee was fantastic. No issues from anybody there. Both sets of management had no qualms with him. He refed it fairly and refed it squarely, and he blew with what he's seen. And you know, so well done to Richard McNicholas. But Richard's been around now, and he's been a top referee, so you know he knows how to call it properly and how to call it straight. And I credit to him. But I just see the James lads just gathering around, waiting to get presented with the trophy. And commiserations again to the Tuam lads down on our left.
Yeah, well, what they do now with the presentation, Frank, is they don't hand it to them. They have to walk up to the table and collect it. That's what COVID has done to us, but it's nice. The lovely trophy there for man of the match as well. Nice little trophy for St. James's. The Jimmies will be happy tonight. It's great for football in the city.
It is, of course. You know, St. Michael's won the A final only a week or so ago, and now the Jimmies have won the B final. So, you know, the two minor trophies have stayed in the city, and it's great to see. As I said, St. James's has needed that, just like Michael's did a week ago, and that helps their senior team progress, Kevin, and brings a lot of confidence within the club as well. And great to see the young lads out there. You know, they're a good bunch of young lads. I know a lot of their dads more than the young lads than anything else. So well done to them all.
So here we have with the presentation, the final score, St. James's 3 goals and 10 points, Tuam Stars 13 points. Number 13, Jack Nolan, man of the match.
Yeah, I think so, Kevin. You know, as I said, 2-3 from play. He was on the edge of everything that good, on the edge of the square, and he had a super performance. And you know, he's getting all the accolades and all the applause, and I'm sure he's a proud young man today, as is his parents.
Yeah, well, I can tell you it's just over here, and it's gone to the Jimmies. 3 goals and 10 points to 13 points. 3 goals in the second half, 2 from Jack Folan were crucial, and also one at the end by Desi Hines in the 29th minute, buried Tuam, and it made it a 3 goal and 10 points to 13 points. A valiant effort from the Tuam Stars, but it wasn't good enough. The man of the match was Jack Folan. He's collected the trophy already, and they're now about to hand the trophy. Well, what they do is they leave it on the table, and the captain comes up and collects the trophy, and it's Keane Gillespie that's the captain of the St. James's side. So both minor titles staying in the city. St. James's claiming the B title, St. Michael's claiming the A title. Great for city football, no doubt about that. But Tuam Stars can hold their heads high. They played very well. Frank Doherty, they'd have to say it was an excellent game of football.
Oh, absolutely. And credit to Tuam Stars. I mean, it was there right in the melting pot. I mean, there was only a few minutes to go, and Tuam were just 2 points down. And they've done exceptionally well. So well done to Tuam Stars. I'm sure, look, they'll be back. And as I said now, Kevin, moving forward under 21 football for a lot of them, and feeding into the conveyor belt of the senior team.
Right, that's it then from Pearse Stadium. It's Tuam Stars that are the losers. The victors are St. James's. 3 goals and 10 points for St. James's, 13 points for Tuam Stars.
And now I ask St. James's captain, Keane Gillespie, to collect the cup on behalf of St. James's minor team. First off, I'd like to thank Tuam Stars for a great game. Yeah, you really gave us a good game there and score out flex on it. So, 3 cheers for your Tuam. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Secondly, I'd like to thank all the management, Dave, Angus, Ronan. You're really kept up to us there in the last few weeks. I know we weren't training too well, but you stuck out with us and we showed it today, so thanks lads. I'd like to thank all the parents as well. Throughout COVID there, so you really stuck with us and you brought us all training and stuff, so thanks lads. That's it.
He looks a big, strong man that can, catch a bit, and he must have maybe 6 or 7 inches on the likes of Matthew Mulvaney out there, Kevin, as Tuam strike first blood.
And it's Jack Davin, Tynan looking for support and gets the support in the form of Luke Davin. Luke Davin has a pot at the post and he puts that one over the bar, and that's a super score by 2 or 3 Tuam, still managing to get it off, and he gives it off to Daniel McNulty, and McNulty has a goal, and this time it's over the bar, and that's a very good score, and it's moving forward, and it's given off to Jack Nolan. Now Nolan looking to try and create a bit of space, kicks, this might be going short, no, it goes over the bar. It's an excellent score from him. Well, bomb a ball inside, this could be dangerous. It's very, very tight in there, and it's won again and kicked by Jack Nolan, and he kicks it over the bar, and that direct approach on the right hand side, he flicks it inside to Finnerty. Finnerty back to King Griffin, goal chance on here, he has a shot at the post and it goes over the bar, just over the bar. I could have to see what options are available for him. Gives it off now to Daniel McNulty. McNulty has a pot at the post. Is that good enough? It is absolutely superb, and with ease there, but all he manages to do is knock it down to Jack Nolan. Nolan has a go at the post and he drives it high and he drives it over the bar, and that's an absolutely super.
Yeah, I think, the ball's turned over. Kevin, I'll hand it back to you.
Yeah, and a chance of a score here. Let's pop over the bar. Excellent score. That one coming in from the back out, and he finds Conor Heenan. Conor Heenan gives it inside. A chance of a score coming in and going out and over the bar, and an excellent score. He's got a player outside him, but unfortunately for Owen Finnerty, lost the ball, and then he flicks it inside. A chance here for a score and it's in the back of the net. Absolutely in towards the full forward division, and a chance of a score here for Tuam. Kicked high and kicked over the bar, an excellent score for Tuam. He manages to get play the ball inside. 1-2, Callum Tynan on the end of it now. Tynan looks to see what options. Very crowded in there. It's Luke Davin that has the pot at the post. It's Luke Davin that puts it over the bar. It's Finnerty just on the edge of the D now, looking to see as he makes the angle a little bit safer for himself. And indeed, he has no problems because he's put that one over the bar, and that's crucial.
As I said earlier on, he's playing at full forward. He's a fantastic looking player. I hope we put the commentators cursing him as he strikes the ball cleanly and strikes the ball over the bar.
That's Jack Nolan now trying to cut inside his man, and does cut inside his man. This could be dangerous for Tuam. He has another goal, and he has a shot at the goals, and it's a brilliant goal and a fantastic. Daniel McNulty looking to try and create a space for himself, going in again into the danger area, flicks it high and flicks it over the bar, and that's a great score. And really,
you don't have to go for the goal yet. You can wait till the last 5 minutes, but keep chipping away at the points.
Have we a chance here of seeing a point being chipped away? What a superb point that was from Mark. Very important for them. Ball played in, loose man inside. There's Davin now, and he's going to have a pot at the post. He kicks it high. Is this going to make its way over the bar? It does, and that's a great score. Matthew Mulvaney. Mulvaney goes around his man now, flicks it inside. This could be dangerous again as King Griffin gets inside his man and then pops it high and pops it over the bar, and that's really great. Davin has it again, trying to get in a scoring chance. Goes around his man, takes inside and outside and gives it off to his brother Luke, and Luke puts this one high and puts it over the bar, and for them to get the 3 points behind. This would narrow the gap to 2. He's driven it in towards the post. Is it going to go over the bar? It just sneaks over the bar. What a score from Mark. The time we have 6 minutes left to play. Chance here now for the game to finish. Desi Hayes with the ball in his hand and he sticks it in the back of the net. It's a goal. It's a goal for James's. And Matthew Mulvaney pushes forward. McWalter trying to close him down. Mulvaney still going forward. Will he pop this over the bar? He does pop it over the bar, and that is curtains, I would say, for Tuam.